Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So I'm just on my vlog camera right now and I am actually moving again and I'm doing some decluttering. So I figured I do have some stuff I know I kind of want to get rid of. So I figured I would just film it and show you guys my foundation collection and do a little bit of a declutter because I'm trying to organize everything. And yeah, so if you guys want to find out what I have in my foundation collection, then just keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not yet. It's gonna be the first link down below and let's get on into it. So I think I'm trying to figure out where to start. I think I'm gonna start on this like bottom row over here. So the first one I have is the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. I have the shade Light Beige and I kind of contemplated getting rid of this just because I think it breaks me out. And I'm like, do I really want to test it again and see if it's gonna break me out again? Man, I don't know, you guys. I'm trying to decide whether or not to keep this. Like, it's not really a popular foundation, like something that I really have to reference often, but maybe I'll just keep it around and I'm gonna try it one more time, and if it's bad, then I'll get rid of it. Next up, I have the famous Revlon Colors Stay Makeup. I have shade 200 Nude. This is actually, believe it or not, a little bit too pink on me. I need to find like a more perfect shade in this, but I love the coverage on this. I've been using this for years and years. This is like a staple foundation I always have to have in my collection. I love that it now has a pump. I have the combination and oily version. There's also like a normal to dry one, but I like using the oily version better. But I love this foundation for a full coverage drugstore foundation. I definitely always recommend this one. Here's one that I think I'm actually going to declutter. It's the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Foundation. So this is an illuminating foundation, so I don't even know why I tried to like mess with this. I have the shade Natural. I think I am going to give this to my sister because she has dry skin. It's a little bit too dark for me as well. Like you can see in the bottle, it looks a little bit on the dark side. I ordered this online. This was so popular because everyone was comparing it to the Makeup Forever HD foundation. So of course I wanted to try it when it came out, but now I'm just ready to pass it along. I know it's way too dewy for me. So hopefully my sister who has dry skin will enjoy this. But for me, it's just too dewy on my oily skin. Yeah, although I must say though, I love the packaging. Then I have the NYX Total Control drops. I have, is this Natural? Yeah, this is called Natural. I actually like these drops a lot, so I'm going to hang on to them. The only thing though is like, I'm not into that whole like drops for less coverage for more. I usually tend to stick to more full coverage, so I always have to do like 20 drops of this to get a full coverage or sort of full coverage look. But I do like these though, and whenever I have used them, they're not like a completely full coverage foundation. I'd say it's more like medium. And it's a little bit on like the messier side, so it's not my favorite, but I'm gonna keep it around. Next I have the L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation in 105, and I actually feel like I'm kind of running out of this. So this is the shade Natural Beige. It's a demi-matte finish foundation. I like this foundation. I need to try it more as like a mixer and see how it mixes with other foundations, because you guys, I am so picky with foundations. Like there are very few that impress me. Like I don't know if it's because I have oily skin, I have textured skin, so I'm always looking for something that's going to make my skin look perfect, and I can never find it. So this one was just like okay for me. I know a lot of people love this, and I want to love it, I do. I actually like mixing this with the Pro Glow. Then I have the Hourglass Vanish Stick. This was like, this had its moment. To me, I actually find this to be a little bit on like the greasy side, and it's not my favorite, and for how much it was, oh my gosh, you guys, this was freaking expensive. This is in the shade Warm Ivory, and yeah, I try and use this, try and get use out of it because I know how expensive it was. Like, ooh, I really kind of regret it getting this. Yeah, this is like one of those foundations that makes me go like, why do I need to get a high-end foundation when it's not even that great? I know there are people who love this and say it's like the most full coverage and it's their favorite, but I'm not in love with it. I'm telling you guys, I'm a little bit hard to impress with foundations. Next up, this is This is the NYX Mineral Foundation Stick. I have the shade 06. And again, this was during that like stick foundation craze. I was like, give me all the foundation sticks. So I got this drugstore version, and this is the shade Golden Beige. So I wanted to try and like find something that was comparable to the Hourglass one in the drugstore. I honestly have only used this a couple times. I never really reached for it, so I think I am going to declutter it. This is the old Makeup Forever HD foundation. I have the shade 117. I think I am going to declutter this because I don't really like the way it applies on my skin, and I'm sad because it is a high-end foundation and it kills me to declutter like foundations like this that I know are pricey, but I got it a long time ago. It's probably honestly expired by now, which never really stops me from using other makeup, but I'm just trying to like find a way to part with it. I don't really like the way it applies with a beauty blender, and by now this is just an old formula and I don't have the new one. I think my makeup artist used this on my wedding day and she made it look really good, but this is like another one of those cult classic makeups that came out when HD makeup and HGTV was like really kicking off, hence the name HD makeup, and it was a whole trend. So it's kind of like an iconic foundation, but I think I'm going to declutter this and make room in my collection because I know I don't reach for it. This guy. Okay, so I did a whole review on this. It's the Josie Maran Whipped Argan Oil Beauty Butter Foundation. I was not a fan of this, sadly. It did not give good coverage. It made my pores stand out. And some people in the video were kind of like saying, well, you used a cheap primer and that's why it didn't look good. So maybe I'll try and use a more expensive primer with it and see if they were right. And some people said to try and use my fingers. So I guess I'm going to have to try those things before I completely discredit it. But I will tell you guys, I used a brush and a sponge and I did not like the way my skin looked. It sunk into my pores and I was not a fan. But I will give it another shot before I get rid of it. This is a favorite. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Soft Beige Foundation. I freaking love this stuff. I already went through a whole bottle and I wish this shade was like more perfect for me. It's a little bit too dark. I have a weird skin tone. Like my neck is always darker than my face, and this is the shade Soft Beige. This is like my go-to foundation when I don't know what foundation to pick. I reach for this one because I love the coverage it gives. It just always makes my skin look on point, and I use this in photo shoots. I talk about it all the time. It just makes my skin look so good, and it does make your skin look really good in pictures. It's only $5-6 depending where you get it. Cannot recommend this enough. Here's another drugstore foundation. I actually really like this, but I haven't talked about it too much. I got this in PR. It's the Neutrogena Skin Clearing Oil-Free Makeup in Nude. This does have salicylic acid in it, so I know it could, you know, dry out your skin, but if you do have acne going on, it is a pretty decent coverage foundation, which is what I look for if I am trying to cover up acne. So when I used this, I did really like the way that my skin looked. So I'm definitely going to keep this in my foundation rotation, and maybe I'll talk about it again in like an upcoming video, or if you guys want to see a wear test, I could definitely do that too. This is another favorite. It's the Physicians Formula The Healthy Foundation. This is really, really good. I love the applicator on it. It has the doe foot big old wand. I really, really like this. It's not like the most full coverage thing, but if you are looking for a nice natural foundation that's like medium coverage and just makes your skin look so smooth, I love the way this makes my skin look. I've been reaching for this a ton. I've already made a pretty big dent in it, and the packaging looks so high-end and luxurious, and I really, really like this. You guys know I've talked about this in favorites videos, in my foundation review on it. Really enjoy the way it makes my skin look. I really do believe it is true to its name. It does make your skin look healthy. This is a newer foundation in my collection. I got this in PR from Influencer, and I did a whole review on it recently. It's the Dewy and Smooth Foundation, and I really think this would be good for people who have dry skin because it gives a nice coverage during the day. If you're like active, you're at work, you're running around, like, and you're oily like me, you will get dewy because I've worn this a couple times since I filmed my video. It definitely, you know, makes you look dewy. So I would say if you have dry skin, give this a try, and it's a pretty good drugstore foundation. This is another foundation that's pretty new to my collection. It's the Coola Mineral Sunscreen. It's just a BB cream. I shouldn't even call it a foundation. It's very, very light coverage, and it's more for like if you're going to the beach or you're going on vacation, I would bring this, but for me, it's not something I would wear like all day. Then I have my YSL All Hours foundation. I am definitely hanging on to this. I have the shade, what is my shade in this? I have the shade Warm Beige. I love this foundation, and I got this for free also from Influencer. This is one of my favorites. I brought this with me on a trip I went on a couple weeks ago. Again, it's just something I try and use when I want my skin to look really good, and I try and use it sparingly because I know it's expensive, and when am I ever going to have a YSL foundation in my collection again? And it does give beautiful coverage to the skin, and I know that it does have the alcohol denatured in it, which is very controversial. Personally, my skin has not acted up anytime that I've worn this. It's been fine, but I do truly think this is an awesome coverage foundation. I really like the way my skin looks every time I wear it. There's one that I kind of haven't been using as much as I should because it's a little bit too dark for me. I chose my color online because I got this in PR. It's the Stellar Beauty foundation, and this is more of a illuminating foundation. It's better if you have dry skin. If you're oily, I don't know if you're going to really love the way that your skin looks unless you set it down a lot. Okay, here's one you guys already probably know that I'm getting rid of. It's the Revlon Youth FX Fill and Blur Foundation in Buff. Do not like the way this looks on my skin, sadly. It was a very pricey foundation. It was like $18, and for that price from the drugstore, I wanted miracles to happen. I wanted my skin to look flawless, and sadly it did not. It you know, goes in my pores, and I did a whole video on really expensive drugstore makeup and if it's worth it, and unfortunately this one is not worth it. If you're gonna get a foundation from Revlon, get the Color Stay instead. This I haven't really used too much. It's the Revlon Insta Flawless Radiant Skin Tint. I mean, I wouldn't just wear this alone by itself with nothing else because it's literally kind of just actually let's swatch it. It's just a very light kind of thing, but it has illumination in it, so kind of doesn't really give any sort of coverage to the skin. And actually, I think this might be too dark for me. This is in light medium. Then I have the Maybelline Matte and Poreless version of the Fit Me foundation. This is okay for me. I'm not obsessed with it. It's just okay. And I have used quite a bit of this. It's just not my favorite drugstore foundation. Next up, I have the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. This is similar to the packaging of the Healthy Foundation. I think they got inspiration from Clinique, and this is a really good foundation. I've used this a bunch of times. I have the shade, what is it, Linen, and again, it was super hard for me to find a foundation match that wasn't too pink and wasn't too yellow. I had to do a couple returns with this to get a decent matching shade. It's still not perfect, but yeah, I do enjoy this foundation from Clinique, and it's kind of just been sitting in the back of my collection. I honestly have not been reaching for it too much. I used to use it a lot more. This is the Flower Beauty BB1 BB cream in the shade BB1, and this is a very matte BB cream. It does give good coverage and I like it. I however think I might try mixing it with other things because I don't love wearing this by itself. I feel like it needs a little bit more of a glow to it. It can be a little bit on the chalky side. Then I have the L'Oreal Pro Glow Infallible Foundation. I have shade 203 Nude Beige. I think I need to get a shade lighter than this, but I really like this foundation. Even though it is glowier, I do think it makes my skin look really healthy and pretty, and I definitely do have to set this down a bit when I wear it. But like I said before, you can mix it in with the Pro Matte for a really nice look, and I know this is a lot of people's favorite foundation, so if you have dry skin, I would say give this one a try. Okay, then I have the Maybelline Mega Cushion Foundation, and this is in the shade Cream Ivory. Oh, I never noticed the back was clear like this. So this is pretty good. It's not going to be your most full coverage thing. It's good for traveling because it is a cushion foundation. I haven't reached for it too much. I will say I like my liquid foundations more than the cushion foundations, but I do think it is a good drugstore option for a cushion foundation. I think the packaging is adorable. I did do a whole video review on this, and I liked the way that it made my skin look. Okay, then I have this CYO Long Lasting Foundation. I have the shade 106. You can get this at Walgreens. I don't know if every Walgreens carries this line, but this is a pretty good foundation. I do, however, find it to be, again, a little bit too dewy for me. I know the Taylor is in love with this. For me, again, it's just a little bit too dewy, and I think I need a lighter shade in this. Can you guys tell I'm terrible at picking out my foundation color? I'm like the worst at it. But I want to get another one of these that's a little bit lighter so I can mix them together. Then I have my e.l.f. foundation. I have 2 shades that I mix. I often have to get 2 shades of everything and mix them. So I have Sand and Porcelain. This one is much darker. This one's much lighter. Really love this foundation. I wear this combo a lot. I love the smell of it. It has like this nice powdery scent to it, but it's not like offensive. So I love the packaging, the glass bottle, really pretty, and I love the way that this makes my skin look. It's just like a nice, effortless foundation. It gives really pretty coverage, and I always am pleased with my foundation when I wear this. Then I have the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, and I have the shade Medium, which is more like my summer color. I like this. The coverage is really good. If you're oily though, I will say it does get a bit dewy, so I would say dry girls, you would probably like this one a lot. I hope maybe they'll come out with like a matte version of this. I think that would be really cool. But this is so full coverage for a CC cream. It's really good if you're like running errands. This is a favorite. This is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Foundation. It has like a serum in it, so it does give your skin a little bit of a glow to it, but it's nothing crazy. It's like a good middle of the road foundation. The coverage on this is insane. It does say full coverage foundation. I have, again, 2 shades that I mix. This is Ivory and then Soft Beige, which is a little bit darker. I have 2 shades of the Maybelline Dream Cushion to mix together. I have 20 and 30. I have not been using this too much. Again, I've just been avoiding the cushion foundations. I feel like they make my skin a little bit oily. I would probably get rid of one of these, but again, I like to mix them together. Like I'll put 20 on and then I'll put a little bit of the 30 on. But yeah, it's been a while since I've reached for this. Here's one I'm getting rid of. I don't even know why this is still in my collection. It's the Super CC Cream from Physicians Formula. This is, I don't even know, you guys, it's so old. I feel like it's all icky, and I can't even comment on how it performs because I have not worn this in forever. It gives the greatest coverage. It's just like a CC cream. It's not going to be like the IT one. So yeah, this is definitely getting decluttered. Then I have the Sonia Kashuk Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation, and I am sad because all her makeup is gone. It's just brushes and sponges and like makeup bags now. So this is like, I don't know, I can't really talk about it anymore. I mean, I'm going to keep it in my collection because I do like it. I do like this foundation. I remember when Casey Holmes was like raving about this, but now it's really just like a thing of the past. So yeah, I did like this foundation though when it was around. Then I have the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Luminous Makeup. This is in the shade N12 Soft Ivory. I think this might be a little bit too pink for me. I never use this foundation, so I know I should probably like get rid of it. But I want to give it like one more use before I do. Then I have the CoverGirl Healthy Elixir Foundation in 710. I actually really like this foundation. It was super popular when it came out. Everyone was reviewing it, which happens a lot with like new drugstore foundations. Everyone goes crazy. This, I like the way my skin looks. It gives a really nice healthy effect to the skin, similar to the Physicians Formula one, except I think I like the coverage on this one a little bit more. I have randomly 2 setting sprays in my drawer, my foundation drawer, that I'm going to declutter because I don't use them. This one's almost gone, and this one from Ben Nye, the Final Seal, it like burns your skin and your eyeballs if you open them too soon. So I'm going to say goodbye to these 2. I'm gonna declutter also this really cute foundation from Physicians Formula. I love the packaging, but I think the color is wrong for me, and I never use this. Yeah, I don't think this is a good color for me. I never reach for it, I never use it. So I have so many other foundations I have to use up, so I might as well declutter this. I like it. Do I love it? I don't know. I don't know if I love it. I like the way it smells. I think it smells nice. I like the original peach scent a little bit better. The packaging I am obsessed with because it's very similar to the ITCC. This is like my preferred foundation package. Then I have the number 7 Stay Perfect foundation. This is, it says all skin types, but for me, I find this to be a little bit too dewy. That's why I haven't been reaching for it too much. Alright guys, so here are all the foundations that I decluttered. I think I did a pretty decent job. I made some room in my makeup drawer. Also got rid of a couple of setting sprays, which I am pretty happy about. So I'm pretty happy to free up some space in my foundation drawer. It was looking crazy and I knew I had to get on here and film and do something about it. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my foundation collection and little declutter. And if you guys like declutters, definitely let me know. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite foundation is or if you've gotten rid of any recently. I love you guys. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye!